What's up everybody, Kels is here para sa kanyang bagong information na ituturo sa inyo, and pasensya na dahil ganito ang background ko dahil I cannot prepare well because napaka-busy ngayon, but you can gain more information kahit ganito yung paligid ko. Well, at first, this is my channel, Kels channel, and if you want to if you want na makapanood pa ng ibang vlogs ko about some of the informations na dito about science and whatsoever, please give this a like and share this video and subscribe to my channel please, and hit the bell notification para lagi kayong updated on my newest vlogs and information. So ayun, umpisahan na natin para hindi na magtagal dahil I know some of your minds are hungry for some informations. And yes, makalimutan, nagpapasalamat ako sa sponsors ng aking Mafia hat. Ayan, nakuha ko po siya sa exchange gift, and this light, ayan, na nagbibigay ng kinis sa aking mukha. Thank you very much for the support. Ngayon guys, I'm gonna feed your mind with some science stuff, and syempre, it is about the biodiversity. Ayan, papakilala ko na sa inyo yung topic ko, syempre. And sabi ko nga sa inyo, I can feed your hungry mind. So eto, so watch some of my videos. My previous videos is about some sciences, and syempre yung susunod din, ganun din naman siya. And syempre, umpisa na natin to. But first, what's the meaning of biodiversity? The biodiversity is rampant yan. Rampant yan sa mga grade 10 student, because I'm a grade 10 student, and syempre alam na to ng mga ibang grade 10 student and yung mga nakapag-aral nito. But let me reiterate to you, kasi hindi naman grade 10 lang ang mga nanonood sa akin. I know that you are kids and adults na want na information. So biodiversity refers to the number and variety of species that live in an ecosystem. So ayun pala yung number and variety of species that live in the ecosystem. Ayun pala yung ginagamit na term para mabilang at malaman ang iba't ibang species na nabubuhay sa ecosystem. And what's an ecosystem? Isang lugar lang dyan sa may backyard ninyo na mayroon iba't ibang plants, and alam nyo may insects is an ecosystem. Kahit yung isang panda is an ecosystem. And when we talk about biodiversity, it is the number and variety of species that live in an ecosystem, and it has mainly four sectors. Yun, parang paghahati-hati niya, because it is about bilang nga, kaya we have four them. So number 1 is the species diversity, 2 is the ecosystem biodiversity, 3 is genetic diversity, and 4 is the functional diversity. So ayan guys, alam kong marami akong mga technical terms, but you can search it on the other search engines para malaman nyo na hindi ako nagsisinungaling dito, because alam kong maraming mga bashers dyan. But eto, napapakatotoo naman ako na kung ano yung aking nalaman, kung ano yung mga sinasabi ko dito is the truth. So species diversity related to the number of the different species and the number of individuals of each species within community. From its word, ang sabi ko nga kanina, yung biodiversity is the count o yung number. Well, nahati ito sa 4, and yung species diversity is yung bilang ng individual na species na nandun. Kunyari, if an insect like caterpillar, yung bilang ng iba't ibang caterpillar doon. If for further para sa karagdagan na information doon, baka maipasama nila kung ilan na lang yung number nila doon, and sort of that. But at number 2, we're gonna talk about ecosystem biodiversity, and it is the variety of ecosystems in a biosphere, or the variety of species and ecological process that occur in different physical settings. So eto naman, kung kanina species binibilang yung about sa mga individuals na species na nakatira doon, but ito naman pangalawa is the ecosystem biodiversity. Ito naman yung pagkakaiba-iba ng ecosystem, yan. Kasi ito yung bilang ng parang ecosystem, pagkakaiba-iba, variety of ecosystems in the biosphere or the variety of species and ecological processes that occur in different physical settings. So, syempre, iba-iba yung environment, iba-iba yung climate, ayan. So, syempre, hindi naman lahat ng nasa mga tropical country na animals ay makakalipad sa mas malalamig because paano kung mahina yung adaptive skills nila. So, ayun yung tinutok ng ecosystem biodiversity. So, ulitin natin yung species ay para sa individual ng species na nakatira doon. And yung sa ecosystem biodiversity naman is yung variety of ecosystem na in a biosphere na and ecological processes that occur in different physical settings. So, na-explain ko naman kanina kasi mauulit ko pa siya. And by number 3 is the genetic diversity. Describes how the members of one species in a given ecosystem are closely related. So, ayun naman. Well, what do you mean by genes? So, genes, napaka-welcome dito sa chemistry. Papasok agad yung chemistry dyan kasi may mga ano talaga dyan eh. Tsaka lagi napasok dyan yung yung DNA, genes, yan. Pagka gusto malaman kung kamag-anak ba talaga or anak ba talaga, laging sa genes. Kasi yun hindi mababago. Mag-mutate, pero kayang gayahin, pero hindi magbabago do yun. It's in our genes. So, genetic diversity describes how the members of one species in a given ecosystem are closely related. So, syempre, meron din naman iba't ibang klaseng species sa isang ecosystem or sa isang place, pero meron pala closely related pala sila kahit magkaiba yung ginagawa and yung food nila. So, ayun yung tinutok ng ating genetic diversity. Hindi lang porket magkapareha silang species, ay ayun na agad yon. Pwede rin namang magkaibang species, closely related lang talaga sila. And the last one is the functional diversity. Refers to the way species behave, obtain food, and use the natural resources of an ecosystem. So, yung functional diversity from the word itself, paano nagpa-function yung species natin na binilang sa kanina sa species diversity. So, ayun pala ay nagtotalk siya about the way species behave, obtain food, paano siya kukuha pag tag-ulan, maliit lang siya, pero paano siya kukuha pag tag-ulan and sort of that, and the use of natural resources of an ecosystem, kung paano siya makikapag-compete, kung paano siya kukuha ng iba't ibang klaseng food. So, ayon, para sa apat na paghahati ng biodiversity, the first is the species diversity, the second is the ecosystem biodiversity, the third one is the genetic diversity, and the last one was the functional diversity. So, ayan, sa pagsusukat naman ng ating biodiversity, because sabi ko nga, the biodiversity refers to the number and variety of species that live in an ecosystem. So, ngayon naman, measure yung biodiversity. Paano ba sinusukat yung ating biodiversity? And ito, the first one is the species richness. Yan, species richness. Yung species richness refers to the number of different species present in an area. The more species present in a sample, the richer the area. So, ayun, sabi dito is refers to the number na naman kasi measure, sinusukat natin, number of different species present in an area. Sa isang area lang yun for example, sa backyard ninyo or sa let's say na sa isang plain or sa kapatagan, ayan, yung species richness doon ay ayun, yung isang place na yon. So, doon natin bibilan tayo ng species na nandoon na naka-present talaga doon, nabubuhay, they compete for food, they live there, ayan. Ayun yung pagbilan nun, gagamit tayo ng species richness. So, if makakuha ko ng magandang pictures, ayan, papakitaan ko kayo kung ano yung itsura ng biodiversity or yung taas at kung mataas tong isang lugar kung mataas ang biodiversity ng isang lugar, papakita ko kayo nun. And kung mababa naman. So, ayan, para sa ating measuring biodiversity. Second one naman of measuring biodiversity is the Simpson's Diversity Index. May pangalan lang binanggit. So, yung ilan dyan, alam na pag may pangalan binanggit, may kakaibang mangyayari because it is about the computation. So, Simpson's Diversity Index, a better measure of diversity, should take into account the abundance of each species, kung gaano kadami yung nakatira doon sa isang place na yon. And syempre, we will gather data sa isang community, sa isang place, sa isang area, sa isang ecosystem. Ayan, magagather tayo ng data like gaano kadami ang species, gaano kadami sila nakatira doon, same species, same individuals na nandoon, gaano kadami, ika-count din natin yan. And we will compare it. So, hindi ko sa inyo mapapakita yung mismong computation niya because it might take too long, but you can search it on the search engine and just click the subscribe button para maituro ko sa inyo sa susunod na mga time. If I have my time, tuturo ko po sa inyo yan kung paano po yung Simpson's Diversity Index. But later on, papakitaan ko po kayo ng formula ng Simpson's Diversity Index. May formula naman po siya, kaya madali lang gawin ito. So, ayun, the first one ng ating pagme-measure ng biodiversity is the species richness, kung gaano kadami yung isang individuals or species doon sa ating community. And the second one, using the math, using your calculator, your scientific calculator, was the Simpson's Diversity Index. So, ayun po. Dito, kailangan nila ng data, ayan, para mapatunayan natin scientifically. Ayan, kasi kailangan natin ngayon magpatuloy na scientifically and may proof. So, that's the second one, the Simpson's Diversity Index. Siyempre, bago ko pa makalimutan, baka hindi ko maisabi sa inyo na siyempre, pagdating dito sa ating Simpson's Diversity Index, paano malalaman kung gaano mini-measure nga natin, di ba, yung biodiversity? Paano malalaman dito sa Simpson's Biodiversity Index? Well, if you compute a certain data, and ayan, may lumabas, pagka siya ay malapit sa zero, it is in high biodiversity. Pagka naman malapit sa 1, ayan, 0.50, pataas siguro, it's high. It have low biodiversity. So ayun, pagka malapit sa 0 is, high biodiversity. Pag malapit sa 1, it is low biodiversity. So ayun lang, para sa ating measure diversity, baka makalimutan ko pa. I want the information to be fully completed. So, and the last one naman na ituturo ko sa inyo is about, ano ba to? 3 patterns of population distribution. So, ayan. Kasi sabi ko nga is, it talks about animals and species. So, syempre, meron din silang mga instinct na patterns of population distribution na mainly is iba-iba pagdating sa plants and animals. So, the first one is we have 3 types or 3 kinds of distribution here. The first one is a random distribution, is a common pattern wherein the position of each individual is independent of other individuals. So, example is yung binato mong seeds. Yan. Binato mong seeds sa yung backyard, bigla nalang tumubod. There is a random distribution. Hindi mo naman siya, at some point siguro mababato mo siya, but syempre hindi naman sila uniform or isang tuwid na tumubo. So ayun lang yun, sa random distribution. No particular area na i-distribute. And the second one is the clumping distribution. This is when individuals aggregate in patches. This group formation is for protection against their predators. So yung first one mainly ay sa ating plants. So ito namang second one is sa ating animals for their defensive skills, kumbaga. So, ayun yung ginagawa daw nila para sila maprotektahan laban sa mga predator na mas malalaki pa sa kanila at mas malalakas pa sa kanila. So, ayun lang yun, the clumping distribution. Yun yung mainly na dahilan kung bakit siya ginagawa ng animals is to protect themselves naman, syempre. And the third one is the uniform distribution. So, uniform, ayan. Parang pag sinabi kasing uniform, napasok agad sa isip ko is maraming pare-parehas. So, tingnan natin ang meaning. Happens when individuals are evenly distributed. This is influenced by territoriality or social interactions. So, kapag marami na, like dyan sa mga cold places wherein the penguins socialize for in each other, and talagang kalat sila. Uniform distribution, talagang walang pinili, hindi sila random dahil meron silang certain species, sila yung isang penguin or emperor or whatsoever. Hindi rin naman nila to ginagamit for their defensive skills kasi hindi naman din sila violent. They may be a prey but di sila predator, di rin naman sila sa instinct nila yon, yung mga defensive skills, talagang yung ibang hayop lang yon. And ayun, yung best example nun is the penguins. So if I have my time, or if the internet ay mag ano sa akin, pag dito sumama sa akin, ay makaka-search ako ng some pictures and for you to see, para di na kayo mahirapan. Ayan, sana makisama ka internet, because ayan. So, ayun lang yun about sa aking biodiversity, and this is Kiel. Hanggang sa susunod ulit na aking video, and keep watching for some more informations. Bye-bye!